Welcome to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, where we delve into the brilliant minds that shape our future. Kicking off with a compelling insight from our focal visionary, Peter Thiel, consider this. We wanted flying cars. Instead, we got 140 characters. It's a statement that not only captures the essence of Thiel's drive for transformative innovation, but also serves as our hook for an episode filled with actionable wisdom and thought-provoking narratives. Peter Thiel is not your conventional entrepreneur or investor. As a co-founder of PayPal, an early investor in Facebook, and an advocate for bold technological advancements, he has consistently demonstrated that the path to lasting success is forged by those who dare to challenge the norm. From cultivating the monopoly mindset to encouraging intellectual independence, Thiel's insights offer a blueprint for thinkers, creators, and leaders who aim to leave an indelible mark on the world. Leader Lesson is more than just a podcast. It's an AI lab aimed at advancing human potential. Our proprietary data processing and algorithms translate the experiences of industry giants into actionable strategies, empowering you to elevate your thinking and achieve your most ambitious goals. Today, we embark on a journey through the chapters of Peter Thiel's strategic thinking, where you'll learn to create value beyond measure and to see opportunities where others see obstacles. From embrace the monopoly mindset and pursue contrarian truths to cultivate a contrarian investment approach and focus on creating value, each chapter unpacks a cornerstone of Thiel's success. Prepare to disrupt the cycle of competition, to identify untapped markets ripe for dominance, to value substance over status, and to foster a vision that guides your actions toward lasting impact. As Thiel himself has shown, championing human agency and embracing calculated risks are vital to innovation. This is not just a lesson, it's a revolution in thinking, a redefinition of what it means to lead and succeed. Are you ready to be empowered, to adopt the mindset of a leader who not only anticipates the future, but actively shapes it? Stay tuned as we unravel the Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, designed to transform your trajectory and inspire you to build not just a business, but a legacy. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, where we delve into the minds of those who've reshaped the world of business. As we continue our journey, we're about to enter a chapter crucial for any innovator or entrepreneur. Embrace the monopoly mindset. Competition is for losers, as Peter Thiel once bluntly stated, a counterintuitive stance that shakes the very foundation of traditional business warfare. This chapter takes us deep into the art of achieving a monopoly, not through nefarious means, but by offering something so uniquely superior that it stands alone. Here, we dissect the philosophy that catapulted PayPal from a simple idea to a revolutionary force. Let's revisit a story from Thiel's PayPal days. While others tried inventing new currencies for the digital age, Thiel's team took a different tack. They didn't conjure up new money. They improved how we use existing currency online. By focusing on a singular, underserved need, they bypassed competition to carve out a new market, a classic move in achieving a monopoly. As Peter Thiel illuminates with his razor-sharp insight, the successful businesses are all singular. They are, in a word, monopolies. They're doing something nobody else is doing. They're doing it so much better that they have no competition at all. This chapter will empower you to break away from the pack and pioneer your path, where profit and growth aren't stifled by competition, but are propelled by innovation. By the end of this chapter, you will have absorbed Thiel's actionable wisdom on how to create a singular business that redefines an industry. You'll learn the significance of starting small to achieve a big market share, and why aiming for a monopoly rather than competing on narrow margins can lead to unprecedented success. Thiel advises, when you're starting a company, you're starting small, and therefore to get to a big share, you want to start with ideally a fairly small market. And from there, it's about expanding, innovating, and dominating, not merely participating in the market. So as we navigate through Embrace the Monopoly mindset, get ready to shift your perspective from competitor to creator, from participant to pioneer. Prepare to be inspired by Peter Thiel's experience and learn to build not just a business, but a legacy that stands the test of time. Let's redefine success together. In the spirit of redefining industries and creating monopolies, let's turn our attention to one of Peter Thiel's most compelling narratives. As Peter Thiel once recounted, the opposite of Anna Karenina is true of business. I think all happy companies are different because they found something radically unique that they do that no one else in the world is doing. Thiel believes that this singularity is the cornerstone of true business happiness, as it allows a company to escape the drudgery of competition. Reflecting on Thiel's insights, consider your current project or business venture. Are you offering a service or product that is drastically different from anything else on the market? If not, it's time to ask yourself the tough questions that lead to innovation. How can you pivot or evolve your offering to carve out a space that only you occupy? The goal is to become indispensable in your niche, creating a service or product that no one else can replicate, ensuring that your customers turn to you and only you for that need. Now ponder this analogy from Thiel about capitalism and competition. A capitalist is someone who's in the business of accumulating capital. A world of perfect competition is a world where all the capital gets competed away. The restaurant industry in New York City, as Thiel points out, is notoriously competitive and, as a result, non-capitalistic. Few thrive in such a cutthroat environment. In contrast, a company like Google has enjoyed a near monopolistic hold on the search engine market, accruing substantial profits over the years. For you, the entrepreneur or business leader, this means reevaluating your approach. Are you struggling in a market that is so competitive that it's nearly impossible to make a substantial profit? If so, it's time to innovate. You must find your own search engine, your own unique selling proposition that allows you to sidestep competition and move into a market of your own making. It's about being brave enough to step away from the crowded marketplace and daring to do something new that sets you apart. Peter Thiel's journey with PayPal exemplifies this approach. Thiel didn't just join the fray of online payment systems, he redefined it. By honing in on a unique aspect of online transactions and executing it better than anyone else, PayPal became a go-to service, effectively achieving monopoly status in its early days. Let's anchor this back to you. How can you apply this lesson to your own endeavors? Start by identifying a need that is currently unmet or poorly addressed in your industry. Innovate in a way that positions your business as the only logical solution to that need. It might mean narrowing your focus initially, but remember, the aim is to expand and scale once you've established your monopoly. By following this strategy, you're not just building a business, you're building an empire. As we conclude this chapter on embracing the monopoly mindset, it's time to consolidate Peter Thiel's teachings into clear, actionable strategies that you can apply to your ventures. Here's how you can incorporate Thiel's philosophy into your entrepreneurial journey. Identify your unique value proposition, UVP. Distill what makes your product or service truly unique. As Peter Thiel once said, successful businesses are singular. They're monopolies doing something no one else can. Find that radical differentiation and capitalize on it. Begin with a narrow focus, targeting a small market that you can dominate. Peter Thiel advises to ideally start with a small market and expand over time. This allows for less competition and a greater chance to establish a monopoly. Scale vertically, then horizontally. Once you have a strong foothold in your initial market, consider scaling up vertically within your niche. After achieving dominance there, expand horizontally into adjacent markets to grow your monopoly's reach. Avoid the competition trap. Remember Thiel's words, competition is for losers. Do not get trapped in price wars or feature battles. Instead, innovate beyond the competition so that comparisons become irrelevant. Focus on innovation, not imitation. Thiel emphasizes the importance of doing something new. Constantly seek ways to improve and innovate your offerings to stay ahead of potential competitors and retain your monopoly status. Build a strong brand. A monopoly is not just about market share, it's also about mind share. Build a brand that resonates with your unique market position. Thiel's PayPal not only offered a service, but also became synonymous with online payments. Understand the power dynamics. Peter Thiel notes that monopolies don't talk about their monopoly. They simply have one. Understand the power dynamics in your industry and position your company accordingly, without making monopoly your overt narrative. If you're in a saturated market, it's time to rethink and reposition. Thiel challenges us to find the untapped needs and unsolved problems. Look for blue oceans of opportunity where you can sail unchallenged. By integrating these insights from Peter Thiel into your business strategy, you're not just preparing to succeed, you're preparing to redefine your industry. Embrace the monopoly mindset, and you'll embark on a path less traveled, one that leads to innovation, leadership, and lasting impact. And with that, we've come to the end of our chapter on Embrace the Monopoly Mindset from Peter Thiel. Remember, the goal isn't just to play the game, it's to change it. Now go forth, innovate boldly, and build the future. Keep tuning in to Leader Lesson for more insights from the greats that will help you transform your vision into reality. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel. In this chapter, Pursue Contrarian Truths, we dive into the realm of the unorthodox, where innovation and real progress reside. Brilliant thinking is rare, but courage is in even shorter supply than genius, as Peter Thiel once remarked. This isn't just a call to be different for the sake of it, but an invitation to embrace the courage required to think independently. Imagine this: even when forewarned, the simple question of expressing a unique truth catches most off guard. Peter Thiel uses this notion to sift through the surface and reach the bedrock of original thought. He asks, "Tell me something that's true that very few people agree with you on." This isn't a query for the faint of heart. It's a challenge to stand alone with your belief before a crowd of skeptics. In this chapter, we'll dissect Thiel's philosophy and explore why contrarian thinking is not just an intellectual exercise, but a fundamental strategy for those looking to make an impact. Through his lens, we'll learn how questioning the status quo isn't just about being different. It's about uncovering hidden truths that can redefine industries and change the world. By the end of this chapter, you'll be equipped with the mindset and tools to identify and pursue these contrarian truths yourself. You'll understand why, as Thiel asserts, every moment in business happens only once, and how the next Bill Gates will not build an operating system, and the next Larry Page won't make a search engine. Because if you are copying these guys, you aren't learning from them. Get ready to embrace the unconventional. It's not just about going against the grain. It's about discovering the grains of truth that others have overlooked. Let's unlock the power of contrarian insights with Peter Thiel and transform the way you view the world. Welcome to Pursue Contrarian Truths. Continuing on our journey with Peter Thiel and his quest for contrarian truths, let's delve into a poignant narrative he once shared. He posed a profound question during an interview, one that probes deeply into our adherence to conventional wisdom. Tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on. He goes on to describe the difficulty most people face with this question. It's not just about intelligence. It's about the audacity to voice an unpopular truth in a sea of conformity. The challenge isn't merely to think of something new, but to have the conviction to stand by it even when it's uncomfortable or disapproved by others. As Peter Thiel explained, this question reveals how entrenched the belief is that truth is synonymous with consensus. Yet the real truth often lies where few dare to look. It requires courage to step into that vulnerable space, to offer a perspective that might not be readily accepted or understood. This is where you, the listener, come into play. Reflect on your own beliefs and convictions. What truths do you hold that go against the tide? Remember, it's in these personal revelations where innovation and progress are born. Your ability to stand by your contrarian truths can be the catalyst for change and can inspire others to think differently. Let's now turn our attention to another compelling observation from Thiel, highlighting a paradox within our modern institutions. He speaks of technology as the pursuit of doing more with less, and yet points out how sectors like healthcare, education, and the military often do the opposite, spending more to maintain the status quo, or in some cases, to achieve even less. Education, in Thiel's view, is one of the most anti-technological sectors, resistant to the very essence of innovation. Herein lies an important takeaway for you. Challenge the systems that resist progress. Seek out opportunities where inefficiency is the norm, and approach these areas with a contrarian mindset. How can you do more with less? How can you apply technology, not just in its digital form, but as a philosophy of efficiency, to industries that have become complacent in their ways? Thiel also muses on the nature of technological opposition, suggesting that while technology is not inherently good, resistance to it in our world is intrinsically evil. This is a stark reminder of the stakes at play. With a growing global population aspiring to higher standards of living, technological innovation isn't just a matter of convenience, it's essential for sustainable growth. You have the agency to contribute to this technological imperative. Your actions, whether in entrepreneurship, policy, or community engagement, can either support the advancement of technology or hinder it. Consider how your efforts can align with the pressing need for technological solutions to global challenges. In another instance, Thiel offers an intriguing viewpoint on the nature of innovation, citing China's strategy of emulating established models from the West rather than pioneering new ones. While this approach may be valid for a developing infrastructure, it also underscores the importance of originality and breaking new ground in technology. What's the lesson for you? Look beyond replication. Innovation is not simply about taking what works and redoing it. It's about venturing into uncharted territory with your own ideas. Finally, Thiel touches on the slowdown in transportation innovation since the late 20th century, attributing it partially to stagnation in energy advancements. This story is a clarion call to not accept the status quo in any field. The slowdown in one area can have ripple effects, stifling progress across multiple sectors. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to identify such bottlenecks in the fields you're passionate about and work towards breakthroughs that can accelerate innovation across the board. In sum, the contrarian truths that Peter Thiel champions are not just intellectual fodder, they are directives for action. As we continue to explore his insights, consider how you can apply these lessons in your own life. By pursuing beliefs that challenge the norm, you are not just being different, you are uncovering the seeds of transformation that can grow into the advancements of tomorrow. As we wrap up this chapter on pursuing contrarian truths, let's crystallize Peter Thiel's principle into clear and actionable steps you can take to forge your own path of innovation and impact. Challenge the echo chamber. Constantly question the prevailing opinions within your industry or community. As Thiel would put it, be the one to ask, what important truth do very few people agree with you on? This question can ignite the spark for groundbreaking ideas. Embrace intellectual courage. When you discover your contrarian truth, have the conviction to stand by it despite potential backlash. Remember, as Peter Thiel notes, courage is in even shorter supply than genius. Let your unique insights drive you forward, not the fear of being different. Seek inefficiencies to innovate. Look for areas within your field that are inefficient or resistant to change. Apply a contrarian lens and think of ways to disrupt the status quo by doing more with less. Embrace technology, not just as a tool, but as a philosophy of efficiency. Prioritize originality over imitation. Resist the temptation to simply replicate what has been done before. As Thiel warns, the next Bill Gates will not build an operating system. Strive for originality in your endeavors and contribute something new to the world. Identify sectors where innovation has slowed, much like Thiel's observation on transportation and energy. Tackle these challenges head-on and work towards creating the breakthroughs that can unlock progress across multiple industries. Contribute to technological imperatives. Reflect on how your actions can either advance or hinder technological progress. With a global need for sustainable solutions, make it your goal to support and contribute to technological innovations that address pressing challenges. Foster a community of contrarians. Build a network of thinkers who are unafraid to go against the grain. Together, as Thiel might advise, you can create a culture that values and encourages the pursuit of contrarian truths and the bold ideas that come from them. By internalizing and applying these actionable steps, inspired by Peter Thiel's principle of pursuing contrarian truths, you can empower yourself to think independently and make a lasting impact. Equip yourself with the courage to explore uncharted territories, and you may just find that the path less traveled leads to the most rewarding destinations. Remember, innovation and progress are waiting for those who dare to see the world differently. And with that, we conclude our leader lesson on Peter Thiel's principle of pursuing contrarian truths. Carry this insight with you and let it guide your journey to becoming a leader who not only sees the world for what it is, but what it could be. Stay tuned for more leader lessons that will empower you to break boundaries and lead with vision. Welcome back to Leader Lesson. In this chapter, titled Avoid Competition, Seek Uniqueness, we're diving deep into the art of capturing value in business through the unconventional wisdom of Peter Thiel. Every moment in business happens only once, Peter Thiel once noted. The next Bill Gates will not build an operating system, and the next Larry Page won't be making a search engine. If you are copying these guys, you aren't learning from them. This insight is our launching pad into understanding why your path to success lies not in following the crowd, but in pioneering your own way. In the bustling bazaar of business, where competition is fierce, Peter Thiel's approach is a breath of fresh strategy. He advocates for the counterintuitive, seek monopoly, not competition. By the end of this chapter, you'll have grasped how to find your untapped market, your eBay power users, just as Thiel did with PayPal, and dominate it to lay a strong foundation for expansive growth. Competition is for losers, Thiel has provocatively stated. With these words as our guide, we'll explore how to identify a small market, how to dominate it swiftly, and how to plan for gradual expansion while remaining unmatched. By studying Thiel's own journey and dissecting his valuable insights, you'll leave with actionable advice to position your business in a league of its own. As we delve into the heart of this lesson, remember Thiel's call to forge your own path. We have to find our own frontiers, and that's hard work. Uncover your frontier, claim your territory, and prepare to learn how through Peter Thiel's principles of uniqueness and monopoly. Let's begin. As Peter Thiel once observed, a startup that has faltered in its foundation cannot be mended. This is a cautionary tale, underscoring the criticality of establishing a unique presence in the market from the inception of your venture. Thiel's own investment story with Facebook shines as a testament to this principle. When he became the first outside investor with a $500,000 injection, he was not merely investing in another social networking platform. He saw Facebook as a creator of its own market, a market it indeed went on to dominate. This move was not about following the herd. It was about identifying and believing in the potential of a unique, untapped social landscape. Now, consider what this means for you. Much like Thiel saw the promise in Facebook, you have the opportunity to look beyond the saturated markets, to identify and invest in or create something that redefines boundaries. In seeking out these opportunities, you're not just avoiding competition, you're setting the stage for creating a market you can monopolize and dominate. Reflecting on Thiel's involvement with Palantir Technologies, another one of his co-founded ventures, we see a recurring theme. Palantir carved out a niche in big data analytics specifically for government agencies and financial institutions, a specialty that allowed them to grow without facing head-to-head competition. This isn't just about being different. It's about being so distinctively valuable that you become irreplaceable in your niche. As you aim to bring your unique idea to life, think of Thiel's last mover advantage. It's the concept that the final entrant in a market can have the upper hand by learning from the mistakes of its predecessors and then capturing the market to establish a lasting monopoly. The lesson for you here is not to rush in blindly, but to strategically position yourself as the business that defines and owns the market for years to come. Diving into Thiel's contrarian perspectives, you're reminded that true innovation springs from challenging the status quo. Where others see a well-trodden path, you should see the chance to pave a new one. Think about the Thiel Fellowship, encouraging young minds to step off the beaten educational and career paths and instead to blaze trails into uncharted territories of technology and business. As you seek to grow and innovate, ask yourself, what established truth can I challenge? What sector has remained unshaken for too long? Thiel's narrative, including his book 0 to 1, advocates for doing something entirely new, creating a monopoly instead of iterating on what already exists. This should be your mantra as well. Don't just go from 1 to N by adding to the existing. strive to go from 0 to 1 by forging something unprecedented. Remember, as you journey from the realm of the known to the excitement of the unknown, that monopolies, contrary to the popular belief that Thiel debunks, can be powerful forces for good when they continue to innovate and provide unmatched value. Incorporate these insights into your strategy, and you could not only revolutionize your business, but potentially influence the course of an industry. After all, the core of Thiel's philosophy is about creating value where none existed before, and now it's your turn to take that lesson and make your mark. As we wrap up this chapter on Peter Thiel's principle of avoid competition, seek uniqueness, let's cement our understanding with actionable steps inspired by Thiel's own strategies and successes. To truly embody this principle in your endeavors, consider the following takeaways. Find your niche. Begin by identifying a gap in the market that you are uniquely positioned to fill. Look for areas that are underserved or not served at all. As Thiel suggests, go after a small market and dominate it completely before expanding your scope. Create, don't compete. Develop a product or service that is not just better, but qualitatively different from what's available. This doesn't mean inventing something entirely new, but rethinking a solution to a problem in a way that hasn't been done before. Last mover advantage. Focus on sustainability and long-term value creation. As Peter Thiel puts it, aim to be the last company in a particular market segment, delivering the definitive product that makes it hard for new entrants to compete. Scale carefully. Once you've achieved a stronghold in your initial market, expand cautiously. Ensure that each step towards growth strengthens your unique position and doesn't dilute your value proposition. Cultivate a monopoly mindset. Embrace Thiel's philosophy that monopolies are not inherently negative if they drive innovation. Strive to become so good at what you do that no one else can offer a close substitute. Consistently question established norms and be willing to take contrarian stances. What seems like industry standards might be opportunities for disruption in disguise. Invest in your vision. If you're seeking investment, look for partners like Peter Thiel, who understand and support your mission to create something unique. Your investors should align with your vision of building a long-term monopoly, not just short-term gains. Leverage technology. Use technology not just to iterate, but to leapfrog existing solutions. Technology can be a powerful tool to create a unique value proposition and scale your monopoly. Focus on value creation. As Peter Thiel once said, profit is a byproduct of creating something valuable. Ensure that your unique offering is not just different, but genuinely adds value to your customers' lives. Learn from others. While creating your path, draw lessons from others' successes and failures. However, remember to adapt, not imitate, to ensure your strategy remains distinctive. By integrating these action points into your strategy, you can aspire to reach the heights of Thiel's vision. Establishing a singular venture that stands out in the marketplace redefines the rules of the game and creates lasting value. Now, go forth and carve out your unique empire and let the competition play catch-up. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, where we dive into the minds of the world's most innovative leaders. In this chapter, Value Substance over Status, we turn the spotlight on a principle that separates true visionaries from mere dreamers. Imagine a world where your work's worth is measured not by the applause it receives, but by the impact it makes. This is the world that Peter Thiel envisions and encourages us to build. Competition is for losers, as Peter Thiel once provocatively stated. It's a call to action, a reminder that the quest for status often leads us astray, trapping us in a relentless zero-sum game. But the end game for thought leaders like you is not a trophy on the shelf. It's about creating a lasting legacy, a tangible difference that reshapes the world. This is the essence of valuing substance over status. Take, for example, the story of StemCentaurX, a company that Thiel highlights for its groundbreaking work in biotechnology. This firm wasn't chasing headlines or industry accolades. It was laser-focused on developing a concrete solution to outsmart cancer. The result? An acquisition by AbbVie worth billions, not because of the status they had, but because of the substance they delivered. Throughout this chapter, we'll draw from Thiel's insights, such as his belief that monopoly is the condition of every successful business. Don't be misled. This isn't about market domination through traditional means. It's about striving for uniqueness so profound that it renders competition irrelevant. It's about creating value that can't be compared because there's nothing else like it. As we delve deeper, we'll also challenge the conventional wisdom that glorifies competition and explore how this often leads to imitation rather than innovation. You'll learn why Thiel believes that capitalism and competition are opposites, and how you can leverage this contrarian viewpoint to carve out a niche that only you can fill. By the end of this chapter, you'll have gained not just knowledge, but actionable advice. We'll help you recalibrate your compass to prioritize paths that lead to substantial outcomes, those that promise progress and purpose over mere prestige. This is your journey towards building something that outlasts the fleeting spotlight, guided by the wisdom of Peter Thiel. So, buckle up as we redefine success and steer towards the substance that will cement your place as a leader who shapes the future rather than just chasing the shadow of status. This is Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, chapter Value Substance over Status. Let's begin. As we venture further into the essence of what it means to value substance over status, we encounter a particularly poignant story told by Peter Thiel. Reflecting on his own experiences, Thiel shared that he once worked at a big law firm in New York for 7 months and 3 days. During that time, he grappled with a rolling quarter-life crisis, questioning whether his actions were truly aligned with his desires or merely a reflection of societal expectations. Was I doing them because this is what I really objectively wanted to do, or was I doing it just because this is what everybody around me was telling me to do? Thiel recalls. This moment of introspection led to a drastic change in direction. Thiel left New York, headed back to California, and immersed himself in the burgeoning tech scene of the late 90s. His decision to pivot away from a prestigious yet unfulfilling path to one driven by passion and innovation was the catalyst for his remarkable journey as a venture capitalist and entrepreneur. Now, let's anchor this back to you. You may find yourself on a similar path, where the allure of a prestigious job title or the trappings of a high-status career may seem appealing. But Thiel's story serves as a powerful reminder that true fulfillment comes from aligning your actions with your authentic ambitions. Ask yourself if your current trajectory is what you truly want, or if it's simply what others expect of you. By doing so, you're taking the first step toward creating a legacy of substance, one that is measured not by accolades, but by the real value you contribute to the world. Transitioning from personal reflection to societal critique, Thiel once offered an insightful observation about the world of corporate responsibility. He recounted how Walmart, facing criticism for underpaying workers, adopted a new strategy to rebrand themselves as a green corporation. This maneuver effectively divided their critics and proved less costly than raising wages, ultimately benefiting shareholders without addressing deeper economic issues. This strategic pivot by Walmart encapsulates a keen insight you can apply to your own endeavors. Superficial changes, designed to appease or divert attention, may yield short-term gains, but they fail to tackle the underlying challenges. As a leader seeking to make a genuine impact, it's crucial to look beyond surface-level solutions and focus on creating meaningful change that addresses core issues. When faced with criticism or challenges, seek out transformative solutions that go to the heart of the problem, rather than opting for cosmetic fixes that only serve to boost your status temporarily. Finally, Thiel once spoke on the ambiguous nature of diversity, particularly within the context of higher education. He highlighted the potential pitfalls of valuing diversity as a mere concept, without ensuring it translates into a diversity of thought. This observation challenges us to consider the depth of our commitments. Are we fostering true diversity in our teams and projects, or are we simply ticking boxes? This is a call to action for you to scrutinize the principles you uphold. If you prioritize substance over status, you must embrace diversity in its fullest sense, which means encouraging a range of perspectives that can lead to innovative solutions and breakthroughs. It's about building a culture where different viewpoints are not just present, but are genuinely valued and leveraged to drive progress. In embodying the principle of value substance over status, you can draw inspiration from Peter Thiel's stories and apply these lessons to forge a path that prioritizes meaningful work and tangible accomplishments. By doing so, you solidify your role as a leader who not only seeks to achieve, but to inspire and empower others to do the same. As we wrap up this chapter on value substance over status, let's crystallize Peter Thiel's insights into practical and actionable steps you can take on your journey toward creating lasting impact. Here are key takeaways to incorporate into your leadership and entrepreneurial endeavors. Identify your unique contribution. Reflect on what you can offer that no one else can. As Peter Thiel would advise, strive to create a monopoly in your domain by offering a product or service that stands unmatched. This doesn't mean exploiting market power, but rather providing such unique value that competition becomes irrelevant. Pursue contrarian opportunities. Embrace the unconventional. Look for gaps in the status quo where you can introduce novel ideas. Don't be afraid to question prevailing beliefs and explore the road less traveled, as this is where you'll often find innovation and long-term value. Adopt a long-term vision. Think beyond immediate gains. Ask yourself how your work will influence the future. Make decisions based on the impact they will have over years and decades, rather than settling for short-term benefits that don't stand the test of time. Choose substance over prestige. Resist the temptation to chase accolades. Focus on the real value of your work. Whether you're building a business, developing a product, or shaping a community, prioritize actions that contribute to genuine progress and solutions over those that merely enhance your reputation. Aim for transformative change. Don't settle for incremental improvements when you can aim for breakthrough innovations. Challenge yourself and your team to think big and tackle problems in ways that could fundamentally change the game. Avoid the trap of competition. Remember that getting wrapped up in competition can blind you to your true objectives. Instead of fixating on outdoing others, concentrate on creating value. As Peter Thiel says, competition can be distracting, so focus on your own goals and the unique path you're forging. By embracing these actionable steps inspired by Peter Thiel's philosophy, you position yourself as a leader who doesn't just chase the fleeting glow of status, but seeks to illuminate the world with substantive achievements. You become a beacon for progress, innovation, and genuine success that resonates with the essence of what it means to leave a mark on the world. Remember, the path of substance over status is not just about what you accomplish, but how you shape the future for others. It's about inspiring those around you to also value the depth of their work over the shine of their titles. This is the true mark of a leader, one who builds a legacy that endures long after the spotlight fades. As we conclude this chapter of Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, take these lessons to heart and march forward with the conviction to create, innovate, and lead with substance. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel. In this chapter, Foster Long-Term Vision, we dive into the essence of crafting a future so distinctive it propels you beyond the bounds of competition. Peter Thiel once asserted, "All happy companies are different because they figured out some way to radically differentiate themselves and escape from competition." Thiel's story from the boardroom of Facebook in July 2006 exemplifies his philosophy. Faced with a billion-dollar offer from Yahoo, Zuckerberg and his team had a definitive view of the future that Yahoo failed to see. They knew the products they had yet to release would transcend the current valuation, as they were not just building a social network, but a new way to connect the world. It was this unwavering confidence in their long-term vision that ultimately shaped Facebook into the behemoth it is today. As we delve into the thematic fabric of this chapter, understand that Thiel's insights will guide you to regularly set aside time to reflect on your long-term goals, adjusting your strategies to align with your vision for the future. Peter Thiel advises, if you believe the future is determinate, you will act with some degree of conviction. It's this conviction in your unique vision that will insulate you from the indeterminate market forces that leave many floundering in uncertainty. By the end of this chapter, you will have actionable advice to cultivate a clear and compelling vision for the future, ensuring your actions are not mere reactions to the present, but steps toward a transformative impact. Thiel reminds us, don't solve problems. When you solve problems, you end up starving, feeding your failures, starving your strengths, achieving costly mediocrity. Pursue opportunities. Let's embark on this journey of foresight, learning from Thiel's expertise to forge a path that's not just distinct, but dominantly so. Get ready to explore the power of a long-term vision that's as ambitious as it is achievable. Welcome to Foster Long-Term Vision. As Peter Thiel recounted, the United States in the 1950s and 60s was marked by a definitive optimism, an era where the future was not just expected to be brighter, but there were concrete plans for how to get there. Rockets, cars, and planes were all expected to become faster and more efficient. It was an age of determinate optimism, fueled by a clear and shared vision of progress. Now, imagine yourself in that era, a time when every step you take is driven by certainty in the outcome, where long-term planning is not just a strategy, but a cultural norm. You live in a world where your actions are guided by a concrete vision, a world where success is not left to chance, but pursued with precision and confidence. Transition to the 21st century, Thiel suggests, we've slipped into a state of indeterminate optimism where the future is expected to improve, but the how is left unanswered. Here lies a critical lesson for you. To foster a long-term vision, you must adopt a determinate outlook towards the future. You must have a clear understanding of not just that things will get better, but precisely how you plan to make them better. Consider Thiel's reflections on the space industry. He observed how the bold aspirations of space exploration, the dreams of venturing into new civilizations, have been dampened into modest aspirations. Now, let this be a cautionary tale. The lesson for you is to keep your sights set high, to not let the grandeur of your vision be reduced to the mundane or the easily attainable. Your vision should not just stretch the boundaries of your current reality, but break through them entirely. Thiel also spoke of a friend's biotech company that boasted about its superior softball team to attract talent, as if groundbreaking discoveries were mere products of chance rather than intention. This story emphasizes the power of belief, how the certainty in one's ability to make a difference can attract others who share that conviction. As you build your own team or business, remember the importance of cultivating a culture where everyone believes in the impact they can make. It's about aiming not just for participation, but for breakthroughs. To empower your own vision, consider Thiel's experience with the singularity, the idea that transformative technologies will radically change our future. He put forth that those who will lead this innovation were likely in his very audience. The takeaway for you is to recognize that the seeds of change are often closer than you think. Look around you, within your networks, your communities, perhaps even within yourself, are the beginnings of the next big thing. Your vision for the future may well be rooted in the potential that surrounds you right now. In conclusion of this section, embody the ethos that Peter Thiel imparts. Let your vision of the future be as detailed as it is daring. It's not enough to dream. One must chart the path to those dreams with clarity and conviction. As Thiel would advise, don't just drift towards the future, define it, and let that definition guide every action you take. Now, as we wrap up this chapter on fostering a long-term vision, let's distill Peter Thiel's wisdom into actionable steps that you can apply to your own pursuits. Here are key takeaways to empower you on your journey to define and reach your ambitious goals. Identify your unique vision. Reflect deeply on what sets you apart. Thiel emphasizes the need for differentiation, so pinpoint the unique value you offer that no one else does. As he once said, find that way to radically differentiate yourself. Resist short-term distractions. Stay committed to your long-term goals, even when short-term opportunities arise. Thiel's approach suggests that true success comes from sustained focus, not from reacting to every trend or temptation. Cultivate definite optimism. Develop a specific plan for the future. As Thiel advises, don't just hope for improvement, but know precisely how you will make it happen. A clear, actionable roadmap will guide your steps and inspire confidence in your direction. Aim for monopoly, not. According to Thiel, the goal is to operate in a realm where you're unparalleled. Work towards creating a product, service, or solution so unique that it stands alone, effectively creating its own market. Foster a belief in the vision. Build a team or community that shares your conviction. Thiel's anecdote about the biotech company demonstrates the importance of a collective belief in making a significant impact. Seek the secrets around you. Thiel talks about companies having secrets that lead to success. Look within your industry or your network for unexploited opportunities or insights that could be the cornerstone of your vision. Substance over status. Make choices that add real value to your vision instead of chasing prestige. This principle, as Thiel puts it, involves valuing substance over status, ensuring that every step you take is genuinely enriching your long-term goals. Pursue opportunities, not problems. Lastly, redirect your focus from solving problems to seizing opportunities. As Thiel remarked, when you solve problems, you may find yourself in a cycle of mediocrity, but by pursuing opportunities, you feed your strengths and fuel your vision. By embracing these principles, you aren't just planning for the future, you're actively constructing it. As Peter Thiel would say, don't drift towards the future, define it. Armed with a clear vision and the conviction to pursue it, you're now ready to take the bold steps necessary to create a future that's not only distinct, but dominantly yours. This is the essence of fostering a long-term vision, and with this mindset, the impact you make could very well shape the world for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel. Remember, the future isn't just a time period, it's a landscape of our own making. Use these insights to carve out your place in it. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, where we delve into the minds of those who dare to chart their course, defying the odds to shape the future. In this chapter, titled Champion Human Agency, we unlock the secrets of fostering individual agency, a crucial lever in the machine of progress and innovation. Peter Thiel, a visionary entrepreneur and investor, embodies this principle. He has consistently challenged the status quo, proving time and again that individual action can indeed bend the arc of history. Most people think the future of the world will be defined by globalization, but the truth is that technology matters more, as Peter Thiel once observed. In this chapter, we draw upon Thiel's insights to empower you, our listeners, to take charge of your destinies and leave indelible marks on the world. We will dissect the anecdote where Peter Thiel reflects on the serial successes of industry titans, individuals who didn't just ride the wave of good fortune, but instead created ripples that turned into tsunamis of change. Through their stories, we'll explore how the concept of luck as an insurmountable force has been debunked by those who see it as a challenge to be overcome. Thiel's wisdom offers a compass for navigating an era where original thought is scarce. We live in a world in which I think courage is in far shorter supply than genius, he once said, underscoring the rarity of bravery in pursuing uncharted paths. In this chapter, we will dissect the courage needed to break away from the pack and the importance of nurturing unique ideas in a world that too often shuns them. As we progress, we'll highlight the value of being contrarian, not for the sake of opposition, but as a means to tap into untouched potential. Thiel cautions against the seductive trap of conformity, reminding us that the greatest political problem that we have is this problem of political correctness properly understood. By the end of this chapter, you will be equipped with actionable strategies to recognize and champion your agency, drawing inspiration from Thiel's conviction that all happy companies are different because they came up with something that was unique from the rest of the world. Get ready to challenge the conventional, embrace the singular, and craft your monopoly of innovation. Join us as we step into a realm where every challenge is an open door and where your actions have the power to ignite a revolution. This is Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, and it's time to become the architect of change. As Peter Thiel once said, technology is about people. It's not about inanimate forces. He tells a story that cuts to the heart of innovation, reminding us that the genesis of every leap forward isn't hidden in the ether, but rather, it emerges from human hands and minds. It's the small teams and visionary individuals who initiate the startups, the new projects, and the transformative ideas. This narrative shatters the notion of a deterministic world, one where our futures are preordained and unchangeable. You see, Thiel challenges us to recognize the power we hold within ourselves. He emphasizes that the future is not set in stone, it is malleable and responsive to our touch. It's a call to action for you, the listener, to understand that the possibilities for innovation are boundless, but they require you to step up and make them happen. The agency lies with you, to be the catalyst in a world craving transformation. In discussing the dynamism necessary to propel our society forward, Thiel points to former President Reagan as an emblematic leader who truly believed in entrepreneurship. By referencing Reagan, Thiel underscores the significance of an environment that celebrates and nurtures the entrepreneurial spirit. It is a reminder that you, too, can foster this spirit within yourself and others. By embodying the principles of innovation and the willingness to take risks, you can contribute to shaping the future. This tale is not just a history lesson. It's an invitation to emulate the kind of leadership that empowers individual action. It serves as an inspiring beacon for you to harness your entrepreneurial spirit, take bold steps, and become a driving force for change. Whether you're leading a team, starting a project, or dreaming up the next big idea, Thiel's message is clear. The future is in your hands. As you absorb this wisdom from Peter Thiel, consider the small steps you can take today to start your journey. Reflect on the unique contributions you can make to your field, the unorthodox paths you might explore, and the impact you could have by refusing to accept the world as it is. Embrace the responsibility that comes with this power, because, in Thiel's world, every individual is an architect of tomorrow. We continue our journey with Peter Thiel, learning that to champion human agency, we must also confront the great political problem of our time, the pressure to conform. Stay with us as we delve deeper into Thiel's insights and how they can empower us to think for ourselves, step out of the shadows of conformity, and ultimately craft our legacy. As we wrap up our exploration of champion human agency with Peter Thiel, let's reflect on the actionable steps that you can integrate into your life right now. These steps are designed to harness the essence of Thiel's philosophy and provide you with the tools to become an agent of change in your own right. Cultivate courage over conformity. Start by identifying areas in your life where you're simply going with the flow due to societal pressure. As Peter Thiel once said, courage is much rarer than genius. Make a conscious effort to question the status quo and pursue your unique ideas, even if they go against the grain. Create value through monopoly. Instead of entering an overcrowded marketplace, focus on finding a niche where you can offer unparalleled value. Thiel's insight that all happy companies are different should motivate you to carve out a space where you can operate without direct competition, thus allowing you to innovate freely. Challenge the competition narrative. Remember Thiel's belief that competition often distracts us from what's truly important. Reflect on how you might be competing for the sake of it, and redirect your energy toward achieving more meaningful goals that align with your personal vision. Embrace singular opportunities. Acknowledge that the most significant breakthroughs in history are unique and cannot be replicated by following a formula. This means valuing your distinct experiences and insights that could lead to the next big discovery. Inspired by Thiel's conviction, look for secrets in your industry or field, undiscovered truths, or overlooked niches that could be the key to unlocking new value. This requires deep thinking and a willingness to venture where others haven't. Resist the developed world mindset. As Thiel suggests, never settle for the idea that we've reached the pinnacle of development. Always ask how you can contribute to the continuous development of your environment, whether it's through technology, business, or social innovation. Disregard the wisdom of crowds. Be wary of collective thinking and popular opinion. Make decisions based on your research and convictions, rather than what is trending or most popular. Take these steps not just as advice, but as a call to action. The path to empowering human agency is personal and requires constant effort and vigilance. It's about taking ownership of your ideas, your work, and ultimately, your legacy. As you move forward, let Peter Thiel's words be a reminder that you have the agency to shape not only your future, but also the world's. This is Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel. encouraging you to become the architect of your own life and the innovator of your own journey. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel. In this chapter, titled Embrace Risk and Reject Complacency, we dive into the mindset that transforms the uncertain into the extraordinary. As Thiel himself once put it, all happy companies are different because they're doing something very unique. But what does it take to stand apart, to build something not just different, but better by an order of magnitude? In a world where the status quo often equates to a slow march towards obsolescence, Peter Thiel's story exemplifies the power of embracing risk. When PayPal faced fierce competition, Thiel didn't just play defense. He predicted his opponent's moves and stayed several steps ahead, leading to a staggering $1.5 billion acquisition by eBay. As we unpack Thiel's philosophy, you'll learn to assess potential risks not as barriers, but as gateways to untapped opportunities. Thiel cautions against the siren song of competition that often leads to dead ends. People get addicted to competition. They end up believing that things that are hard are valuable, rather than going through the open door that no one is even looking at. By the end of this chapter, you will have actionable strategies for identifying and seizing those open doors. You'll understand why Thiel values durability over growth rates, reminding us that whether a company's still going to be around a decade from now, that's actually what dominates the value equation. So, let's break away from the pack, reject complacency, and take a calculated leap towards creating the future. Are you ready to embrace risk the Peter Thiel way? Let's find out. As Peter Thiel once recounted his journey through academia and the legal profession, we can glean a profound insight into the nature of risk-taking and the human inclination toward complacency. Thiel's own experience reveals the constraints of traditional pathways. Despite his rapid ascent to a coveted position at a top law firm, he quickly realized it wasn't the summit he sought. In his own words, it was like escaping from Alcatraz. All it took to leave was the decision to walk out the front door, yet so many of his colleagues felt trapped, their identities deeply entangled with their hard-won successes in a competitive hierarchy. What you can take from Thiel's story is the courage to redefine success on your own terms. It may seem risky to abandon a secure, well-trodden path, but the greater risk often lies in surrendering to a life of dispassionate conformity. Like Thiel, when you feel caught in the prison of societal expectations, remember that the exit may simply be a bold decision away. Transitioning to another fascinating narrative, Thiel highlights the stagnation in certain technological sectors, such as transportation, where progress seems to have ground to a halt since the 1970s. This is a clarion call to challenge the complacency that settles when we become too comfortable with the status quo. As listeners of Leader Lesson, you're encouraged to ask yourselves, what sectors or areas in my life have I accepted as finished or sufficiently developed that might actually benefit from a fresh perspective or revolutionary innovation? This leads us to Thiel's advocacy for exploring uncharted territories, such as the ocean's vast expanse, to push the boundaries of human progress. The Seasteading Initiative serves as an example of looking beyond conventional borders to discover new possibilities. The takeaway here is not to settle for the known, but to embrace the unknown with curiosity and an entrepreneurial spirit. Think about the unexplored frontiers in your own life. These could be new skills, markets, or creative pursuits, and consider how venturing into these areas could lead to personal growth and breakthroughs. Delving further into Thiel's philosophy, we confront the imitation trap, a natural human tendency that often stifles innovation. His observations about people crowding through a small door while ignoring an open gate resonate deeply with the theme of our chapter. As you navigate your professional and personal lives, be vigilant of following the crowd and instead seek out the less trodden path that might lead to greater rewards. In conclusion, Thiel's journey and insights serve as powerful reminders that success is not found by following the herd, but by forging your own path, even when it appears fraught with risk. Embrace the untried, invest in ideas that promise longevity over fleeting growth, and remember, as Thiel says, that the value of a business is not just in its present, but in its sustainable future. And remember, as you move forward, to look for those metaphorical open gates that others might have overlooked. In the pursuit of what is truly valuable, sometimes the most significant opportunities are not found in the hard and the crowded, but in the unique and the spacious. By adopting this mindset, you are setting yourself on a course not just for success, but for a differentiated and impactful contribution to the world around you. In the spirit of Peter Thiel's contrarian thinking, let's summarize a few actionable steps that can guide you to embrace risk, shun complacency, and foster the kind of innovation that distinguishes successful endeavors. Identify a niche or sector ripe for innovation. Look for areas where progress seems to have stalled or where there is a lack of competition. As Thiel suggests, unique companies find success in creating something new rather than battling in an overcrowded market. Aim for magnitude improvement. Thiel asserts that the key to a successful monopoly is having technology or a product that is significantly better than the competition. Look for opportunities to innovate that will offer an order of magnitude improvement in some key dimension. Evaluate the long-term sustainability. Instead of getting fixated on immediate growth rates, consider the longevity and durability of your project or business. Thiel emphasizes that whether a company is still going to be around a decade from now, that's actually what dominates the value equation. Build strong network effects. Recognize the challenges and rewards of network effects. While they may be hard to establish, once set in motion, they can create a lasting advantage. Think about how your business or project can benefit from network effects and strategize accordingly. Embrace your unique value proposition. Create products or services that are unique and resist the urge to follow the crowd. As Thiel points out, we would be better off if people focused on doing unique things rather than doing things that were undifferentiated. Reject the equation of difficulty with value. Challenge the notion that if something is hard, it must be valuable. Instead, as Thiel advises, look for the open door that no one else is looking at. This could represent an overlooked market or a simpler solution to a complex problem. Consider vertical integration. Explore the potential of vertical integration as a means to gain a competitive edge. Thiel notes that it's an underexplored modality of technological progress, which, when executed well, can provide a significant advantage. By following these guidelines, inspired by Peter Thiel's own principles, you'll be equipped to venture beyond the status quo, leverage the potential of untapped markets, and create a future that reflects your unique vision and ambition. Remember, the path less traveled may be risky, but it can also lead to the creation of lasting value and impact. So take that calculated leap, and just as Peter Thiel did, you may find yourself not just participating in the market, but defining it. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel. As we delve deeper into the mind of a man who has consistently zagged when others zigged, we reach a pivotal chapter titled Cultivate a Contrarian Investment Approach. Here, we unearth the wisdom of investing where the crowd isn't, a strategy that has vaulted Thiel to the forefront of venture capitalism. Tell me something that's true that very few people agree with you on. As Peter Thiel once said, this question reveals a stark truth, that the most profound ideas often lie beyond the consensus. In this chapter, we dissect the anatomy of overlooked or undervalued ventures, learning how to identify diamonds in the economic rough. Imagine a landscape of untapped potential, where regulation and convention shield sectors from the mainstream investor's gaze. Consider Thiel's own reflections on the asymmetric relationship between regulation and innovation. In sectors like tech, where oversight was lax, progress soared. Meanwhile, in the heavily regulated healthcare industry, innovation seemed to thrive in less scrutinized areas like cosmetic surgery. By the end of this chapter, you'll be equipped with the contrarian lens needed to spot the unique opportunities Peter Thiel so adeptly identifies. The successful businesses are all singular. They are, in a word, monopolies, Thiel observes. We'll explore how to not just think, but to act differently, and why pursuing the path less funded can lead to monopoly-sized rewards. Remember Thiel's insight. There are precisely two kinds of companies in this world. There are companies that compete like crazy and never make any money, and there are companies that are monopolies and they make an enormous amount of money. This chapter is your guide to joining the latter category. So, sharpen your pencils, and open your minds. We're not just thinking outside the box, we're recognizing that the box never existed. Discover the secrets that are ripe for the taking. As Peter Thiel once put it, it's something that you can figure out if you work at it hard enough, but that people haven't quite thought of working on in one way or another. Prepare to challenge the status quo and empower your investment approach. This is the essence of cultivate a contrarian investment approach, a beacon for those ready to see the invisible and achieve the extraordinary. As we continue our journey through cultivate a contrarian investment approach, we encounter a realm where human intuition and machine intelligence converge. As Peter Thiel's experiences at PayPal and Palantir illustrate, the marriage of human discernment and automated efficiency forms a potent alliance, particularly in cybersecurity. Thiel emphasizes that a purely human or purely computerized system falls short in addressing security threats, advocating instead for a hybrid model as the most effective strategy. This story of innovation at PayPal reveals a significant lesson. The power of combining different elements to address complex challenges is often undervalued. For you, the listener, this translates into a broader lesson for investing. By integrating diverse approaches and methodologies, you can uncover opportunities that others might overlook due to their reliance on conventional wisdom. For instance, Thiel's insights on this hybrid model prompt us to consider industries where such a balance between human and machine is not just beneficial, but essential. In an era where artificial intelligence and machine learning are becoming ubiquitous, areas that still require the irreplaceable nuances of human judgment may offer fertile ground for investment. Transitioning from this story, let's anchor back to your own prospects. Thiel challenges us to ask ourselves, what are areas that are not being funded enough, where not enough money is going into? By asking this contrarian question, you position yourself to identify sectors ripe for innovation but starved for capital. Investing in these areas requires a keen eye for potential and the courage to go against the tide. Take Thiel's approach to the future. He contrasts an indefinite outlook, where diversification is king, with a definite one that demands focus and conviction. If you too adopt a definite perspective, you choose to concentrate on a vision, to invest deeply in that which you believe holds promise, despite the uncertainty that may surround it. By doing so, you aren't just passively waiting for the future to unfold, you're actively shaping it through your investments. This is the essence of Thiel's philosophy, the recognition that the most lucrative ventures often emerge from uncharted waters. As we move forward, remember Thiel's conviction in the existence of secrets. There are things that you can figure out if you work at it hard enough, but that people haven't quite thought of working on in one way or another. Your takeaway here is to cultivate the perseverance and curiosity necessary to unveil the secrets of tomorrow's markets. Think of the untapped potential that exists within sectors where the majority has yet to venture. Reflect on the uniqueness and potential for monopoly that Thiel advocates. It is in these unexplored territories where you, like Thiel, might find the next groundbreaking investment opportunity. As we draw this chapter to a close, let's distill Peter Thiel's contrarian investment philosophy into actionable takeaways that you can implement in your pursuit of unique and profitable investment opportunities. Seek the secrets. Pursue the unknowns in the marketplace that others overlook. As Peter Thiel emphasizes, there are secrets waiting to be discovered, areas underexplored and full of potential. Dedicate time to unearthing these secrets through diligent research and unconventional thinking. Dare to disagree. Embrace ideas that go against the grain. When evaluating potential investments, consider the perspective that Peter Thiel often champions. What's a belief you hold that most people would contest? This could be the foundation for a groundbreaking investment. Evaluate the competitive landscape. Identify opportunities where you can establish a monopoly, as Thiel advises. Instead of joining the fray of fierce competition, look for niches where you can dominate and create substantial value. Integrate human and machine intelligence. In line with Thiel's experience at PayPal, seek investment opportunities that effectively combine the strengths of human intuition with the scalability of technology. Industries that balance these two elements could be ripe for innovation and growth. Question the funding flow. Investigate industries and ventures where funding is scarce. Peter Thiel challenges us to ask, what are areas that are not being funded enough, where not enough money is going into? These areas may offer the most significant upside potential for those willing to take the risk. Adopt a definite perspective. Instead of spreading your bets thinly, focus on a few high-conviction opportunities. As Thiel asserts, a definite outlook involves concentrated effort and the belief that you can shape the future with your actions. Be unique in your approach. Look for investment opportunities that are not only unique, but also align with your insights and convictions. Peter Thiel maintains that the most successful businesses are singular, achieving monopoly status by being irreplaceably better than the competition. By applying these principles, you can cultivate a contrarian investment approach that stands apart from the crowd. In your quest for success, remember Thiel's guidance. Investing is not just about following trends, it's about anticipating them, carving your own path, and sometimes building the future that others haven't even imagined yet. Now, armed with the insights from Peter Thiel, you're not merely a spectator in the world of investing. You are an innovator, a trailblazer, ready to unlock the extraordinary. Go forth, explore the uncharted, and let your investments reflect the audacity of your vision. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, where we continue to explore the wisdom of Peter Thiel, a visionary who not only shaped the trajectory of technology and entrepreneurship, but also mastered the art of nurturing groundbreaking ideas. Today's chapter, Encourage Intellectual Independence, is for those who dare to question the status quo and are eager to forge unique paths in the pursuit of innovation. Tell me something that's true that very few people agree with you on. This provocation from Peter Thiel lays the groundwork for our discussion on intellectual independence. It illustrates the challenge and the power of holding convictions that stand apart from the crowd. As we peel back the layers of conventional thought, we aim to arm you with the courage and strategies to welcome and wield dissenting opinions to question prevailing wisdom. Let's take a moment to reflect on Peter Thiel's 20 under 20 fellowship story. He took the bold step of incentivizing young minds to pause their formal education to chase their entrepreneurial dreams, underscoring his belief that some of the most valuable learning experiences come from outside the classroom. This initiative is a testament to his conviction that breaking free from institutional molds can be the key to unleashing potential and fostering true innovation. In this chapter, we will dissect how you can create an environment that does not just tolerate, but encourages independent thought. We'll examine Thiel's insights on why striving for uniqueness in business can lead to monopoly, and why we should resist the seductive lure of competition that often leads to conformity rather than groundbreaking achievements. As we navigate these themes, remember Peter Thiel's caution against groupthink. Since no one has any clue at the end of the 2-year process, you end up with this dynamic where everyone tries to surf the same wave that has already come and gone. We'll explore how to combat this phenomenon and instead foster a culture of intellectual curiosity and bravery. By the end of this chapter, you will be equipped with actionable advice to cultivate a space where challenging collective assumptions isn't just accepted, it's expected. You will learn how to lead like Peter Thiel, encouraging your team to embrace the possibility of discovery and drive forward with pioneering solutions that redefine the boundaries of what's possible. Prepare to be inspired and to inspire others as we delve into the art of encouraging intellectual independence. Let's begin. As Peter Thiel once recounted, his decision to leave San Francisco was rooted in an awareness of the perils of herd-like thinking, particularly in the investment landscape. Thiel recognized that even a city as innovative as San Francisco could fall into a pattern of conformity. By relocating to a more diversified and affordable city, he sought to distance himself from groupthink, which he viewed as a potential hindrance to clear and independent decision-making. This story serves as a powerful reminder of the value of environmental influence on our ability to think freely. Thiel's action demonstrates that, sometimes, fostering intellectual independence requires physical separation from spaces that perpetuate uniformity. For you, this might mean changing your surroundings, seeking new perspectives, or diversifying the inputs that shape your thinking. The goal is to create a personal or professional space where you can question prevailing norms without the pressure to conform. A space where innovation can truly flourish. Delving further into the theme of intellectual independence, Thiel's revelation in his mid-20s about the profound influence of social convention on his thought process is another instructive tale. He described it as a quasi-conversion experience, a moment when he recognized the deep-seated corruption within the value system and the necessity to challenge it. This experience was pivotal as it propelled him to actively question and think for himself. As you reflect on Thiel's transformation, consider the social conventions that may be constraining your own thinking. Recognizing and questioning these conventions is the first step toward intellectual liberation. It's about becoming aware of how standard practices and beliefs may be limiting your potential for original thought. By acknowledging the pervasive nature of these influences, you can begin to carve out your own path and think beyond the boundaries of the expected. Thiel's observations on Silicon Valley culture and the prevalence of Asperger's among some of its most successful entrepreneurs further illuminate the importance of independent thought. He provocatively suggests that society has a way of dissuading neurotypical individuals from pursuing unconventional ideas. Thiel's point is poignant. It's not just about having original ideas, but also having the resolve to maintain them in the face of societal pressure that often encourages conformity. For you, this means valuing your unique perspectives and nurturing them, despite external skepticism or misunderstanding. It's about trusting your intuition and allowing your distinctive ideas to mature, even if they deviate from the norm. Embrace the notion that your most heterodox ideas could be the seeds of transformational change. Thiel's observations on human nature's imitative tendencies, informed by a historical understanding of the word ape, provide a stark reminder of our innate propensity to follow rather than lead. This tendency, while useful in learning and cultural transmission, can equally lead to the madness of crowds and collective misjudgments. It's crucial to recognize this imitative impulse within ourselves and actively work to counteract it. The takeaway for you is to foster an awareness of your own imitative behaviors and to consciously choose when to follow and when to forge your own path. By doing so, you'll be better positioned to avoid the pitfalls of groupthink and make decisions that truly reflect your individual insights and convictions. In a final story that resonates with our theme, Thiel contrasts the rapid progress in the relatively unregulated fields of computers and the internet with the sluggish advancement in highly regulated sectors like biotechnology and energy. His point is clear. Excessive regulation can stifle innovation. By recognizing the barriers that regulation can impose, you can seek out spaces where freedom to innovate is more pronounced, or work to influence policy that enables, rather than constrains, breakthroughs. For you, the lesson is to identify and navigate the constraints of your industry or field. Assess whether these constraints are necessary or if they hinder innovation. Advocating for an environment that allows for experimentation and discovery is crucial to pioneering new solutions and fostering a culture of progress. As we continue our journey through the insights of Peter Thiel, let these stories inspire you to champion intellectual independence, both in your personal endeavors and within your teams or organizations. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into strategies that will empower you to become an architect of innovation, much like Thiel himself. Now, as we wrap up this chapter on Encourage Intellectual Independence, let's crystallize our learning into actionable steps to implement Peter Thiel's principle in your daily life. Here are key takeaways to guide you toward nurturing a culture of innovation and independent thinking. Question the default. Regularly challenge the assumptions that govern your field or industry. As Peter Thiel once said, "What important truth do very few people agree with you on?" Make this question a staple in your decision-making process to uncover novel insights. Create value, not competition. Strive to innovate in ways that render competition irrelevant. Focus on unique value propositions that carve out new markets or redefine existing ones, thus achieving a form of monopoly as Thiel advocates. Diverse networks and environments. Expand your circle to include a wide range of perspectives. Peter Thiel's choice to leave San Francisco exemplifies the need to physically and intellectually distance oneself from echo chambers that reinforce prevailing norms. Cultivate conviction in your ideas. Stand firm on your unconventional ideas, even in the face of skepticism. Remember, as Thiel observed, some of the most successful entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley held on to ideas that went against societal norms. Mindful imitation. Recognize the fine line between learning from others and mindless imitation. Choose role models wisely and ensure you adapt their strategies to fit your unique context rather than copying them outright. Pursue regulated spaces judiciously. When working in highly regulated fields, be aware of the constraints and seek to innovate within or around them. If possible, advocate for changes that foster more freedom to innovate. Embrace the outsider perspective. Encourage team members who think differently and may not fit the traditional mold. These individuals can be a source of breakthrough ideas and challenge groupthink effectively. Encourage debate and dissent. Foster an organizational culture where debates and dissenting opinions are welcomed. Create safe spaces for team members to voice contrarian views without fear of retribution. Long-term vision over short-term wins. Prioritize projects and ideas that promise long-term value creation over those that provide immediate but fleeting victories. Avoid the allure of competition for competition's sake. Invest in personal development. Continuously seek personal growth that aligns with fostering independent thought. Encourage learning experiences outside of formal education that challenge conventional wisdom. By integrating these principles into your leadership style and organizational culture, you align with Peter Thiel's ethos of encouraging intellectual independence. This approach not only paves the way for groundbreaking innovation, but also sets a foundation for a robust, forward-thinking enterprise that can withstand the test of time and change. Stay inspired and join us next time on Leader Lesson as we continue to explore the insights of the world's most influential thought leaders. Together, let's shape a future defined by bold ideas and transformative actions. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel. In this chapter, titled Focus on Creating Value, we delve into the core philosophy that drives one of the most successful entrepreneurs and investors of our time. We wanted flying cars. Instead, we got 140 characters, Peter Thiel once remarked, pointing to the depth of his ambition for transformative change over superficial advances. In the early days of PayPal, Thiel's focus was not merely on capturing a share of a market, but on conquering an untapped niche with enormous growth potential. With an initial target market, TAM, of just 20,000 eBay power sellers, PayPal swiftly captured a staggering 30 to 40% market share within a mere 3 months. This story isn't just about rapid growth. It's about the strategic focus on creating a base, a fortress, from which to expand and dominate. It's a testament to Thiel's belief in starting small, delivering undeniable value, and scaling with purpose. As we explore this chapter, you will unearth the actionable wisdom behind prioritizing societal value over mere monetary gains. This approach, as championed by Thiel, leads to more sustainable and impactful success. Every moment in business happens only once, he asserts. The next Bill Gates will not build an operating system, and the next Larry Page won't be making a search engine. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand how to identify and seize the unique opportunities that carve out a monopoly of your own, where you can create and scale value to unprecedented levels. Remember, as Peter Thiel once said, competition is for losers. In this context, he challenges us to think beyond the rat race and to forge our path, where value creation supersedes the myopic chase for profits. This chapter is designed not just to inspire, but also to equip you with the mindset and tools to seek out the problems worth solving, those that will leave an indelible mark on the world. So, let's dive in and discover how to prioritize the creation of real-world value in your endeavors. Prepare to look at your business opportunities through the lens of impact, as this is what has made Peter Thiel a visionary in a world of followers. Get ready to be empowered with insights that will not only enrich your perspective, but could very well redefine the trajectory of your success. Continuing our journey through the mindset of Peter Thiel, Let's turn to an inspiring narrative that embodies his conviction about prioritizing value creation. As Thiel recounted, his former PayPal colleague, Elon Musk, took on the colossal challenge of starting both SpaceX and Tesla. These ventures were not just businesses. They were missions that aimed to revolutionize industries and galvanize technological progress. Imagine the scene: Musk coordinating complex teams, aligning countless variables, and navigating uncharted territories, all in pursuit of making human life multiplanetary and transforming the automotive industry. Thiel observed that these endeavors required a degree of coordination and vision that might have traditionally been within the purview of governments. Yet, Musk's ambition and Thiel's belief in creating value on a grand scale proved that private ventures could step into roles that once seemed beyond reach. As you reflect on this story, consider the magnitude of the problems you're eager to solve. Think of the value you can create not only in your immediate circle, but on a global scale. This is the essence of what Thiel teaches us through Musk's example, that by aiming for the stars, quite literally, in SpaceX's case, you can mobilize resources, talent, and innovation towards goals that leave a lasting legacy. Musk's ventures show us that while the task of creating value may require formidable effort, the impact is far-reaching and potentially transformative. This is an invitation for you to think big, to not shy away from complexity, and to not settle for the conventional. The story of SpaceX and Tesla is a masterclass in ambition, a vivid illustration that the pursuit of value creation can lead to sustainable success and a significant contribution to society. As you contemplate your next venture, project, or career move, remember that the most extraordinary achievements often come from those who dare to think differently and who prioritize the creation of value over immediate financial gain. When you focus on what you can give to the world rather than what you can take from it, your work transcends the transactional and enters the realm of the transformational. Now, as we continue to harness the wisdom from Peter Thiel's experiences, let's maintain this mindset of aiming for meaningful impact. Keep this lesson at the forefront as you forge ahead, and let the story of Musk's bold ventures inspire you to build your own legacy of value. In the spirit of Peter Thiel's philosophy, here are actionable steps to guide you toward creating unparalleled value in your ventures. Identify a niche that you can dominate. As Peter Thiel did with PayPal, find a small market you can serve better than anyone else. Focus your efforts on becoming indispensable to this market before scaling. Think beyond incremental improvements. Aim for radical innovation, not just iterative change. As Thiel would say, aim for the quantum leaps that will redefine industries. Leverage technology for scalability. Use technology as a force multiplier to increase your reach and impact. Technology can help you deliver value to a larger audience with less effort. Adopt a long-term perspective. Prioritize sustainability and long-term growth over short-term gains. Build a business that will stand the test of time and continue to deliver value in the future. Cultivate a contrarian mindset. Challenge the status quo and embrace unique solutions to problems. As Peter Thiel suggests, great businesses are often built on ideas that initially appear to go against the grain. Invest in people and relationships. Surround yourself with a team that shares your vision for value creation. Collaborate with those who can complement your skills and help bring your vision to life. Be prepared to take calculated risks. Don't fear failure, but rather understand and manage the risks involved. As Thiel would advise, assess the potential rewards and make informed decisions. Stay mission-driven. Let a strong sense of purpose guide your actions. Your commitment to creating value should be the driving force behind every strategic decision you make. Reevaluate and adapt. Continuously assess the value your business is creating and be ready to pivot if necessary. Stay attuned to the needs of your customers and the market. Ignore the crowd. When everyone is zigging, consider zagging. As Thiel puts it, competition can be a signal that you're not pursuing something truly valuable or unique. By applying these principles, you can channel Peter Thiel's approach to create a lasting and meaningful impact through your work. Strive to be the architect of value in your field, and remember, the journey to creating something exceptional begins with the audacity to think differently. As we conclude this chapter on focusing on creating value, let these insights propel you forward, emboldened to forge a path that will redefine success and leave a legacy that echoes Peter Thiel's visionary achievements. As the sun sets on our enlightening journey with Peter Thiel, we find ourselves at the threshold of a new era of thought leadership, one that champions the outliers like you, our dedicated listeners, who are ready to seize the mantle of innovation and carve out your destinies with the wisdom of giants. In the expanse of our exploration, from embracing the monopoly mindset to fostering long-term vision, we've unearthed a trove of insights that, if wielded with conviction, will not just navigate you through the tumultuous seas of industry, but propel you towards the shores of groundbreaking success. Competition is for losers, Thiel reminded us, urging you to transcend the fray of the ordinary and venture into the blue oceans of opportunity. It's a call to action, to build not just businesses, but legacies that redefine the benchmarks of excellence. As Thiel would assert, it is not about being first, but about being last, the last mover advantage that ensures your creation withstands the test of time and competition. In this spirit, may you approach your pursuits with the monopoly mindset that values singularity over similarity, creating value that is both unparalleled and enduring. Remember his guiding principle: tell me something that's true that very few people agree with you on. Let this be the mantra that fuels your contrarian truths and empowers you to tread the paths less traveled, illuminating darkened corners of convention with the torch of innovation. Take these insights, not just as mere words, but as beacons to guide your entrepreneurial ships through night and storm, to the dawning light of a future you dare to imagine and have the resolve to build. Now, as we draw the curtain on Leader Lesson, Peter Thiel, we part with a call to action. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and podcast, and join a community of visionaries who, like you, seek to rise above the ordinary. Share your thoughts and insights with us, and comment on how these lessons have sparked a change in your perspective. Engage with fellow leaders on our social channels, and together, let's forge a world replete with opportunities that await the touch of the bold and the brave. Continue your journey with our Leader Lesson series, and discover more timeless wisdom from the trailblazers who've sculpted the contours of our modern landscape. With each episode, each lesson, you arm yourself further, not just for success, but for a revolution of thought that you, the outlier, are destined to lead. And so, we bid you farewell, not as mere listeners, but as torchbearers of a new dawn, ignited by the sparks of Peter Thiel's teachings and fueled by your boundless potential. Until next time, keep the flame of curiosity alight, and let the lessons you've learned today guide you to the triumphs of tomorrow.